She went from stage star to television icon with occasional stops on the big screen, and she still had time to raise a son and marry Harrison Ford. This is the stunning transformation of Calista Flockhart. Calista K. Flockhart was born in 1964 in Freeport, Illinois. Her mother was a teacher, and her father's job working for Kraft required her family to move around a lot when she was little. In addition to Illinois, she lived in Minnesota, Ohio, and New Jersey. She was introverted and often worried that her unusual first name made her stand out too much at school, telling people, "I used to make up names for myself like Anne and Jennifer because I couldn't stand the trauma of being teased." Growing up, Flockhart enjoyed acting. She told The Morning Call that she used to stage plays with kids from the neighborhood and always took over as the director, recalling, "I was this shy kid, but I'd still make these other kids go out and start over. I was always so into plays." At Rutgers University, Flockhart began to believe she could turn her passion for acting into a career. Her roommate, Leanne Kamena, remembered her being praised for her work in a production of Picnic, telling people, "That's when it all clicked for her." After graduating from Rutgers, Flockhart moved to New York City to be a stage actor. At first, she relied on odd jobs and occasional family support to keep going. In an interview with People, she reminisced, "I'm broke, I'm starving, I have no structure to my life, no stability." Her brother once helped out by sending her a case of ravioli. Speaking about it with The Morning Call, she shared, "I'll always appreciate that gesture so much because my brother was struggling as much as me." But thankfully, Flockhart soon got her big break when she was cast in Beside Herself, alongside theater legends like Lois Smith and William Hurt. Flockhart went on to a busy few years on the New York theater scene, appearing in plays like The Glass Menagerie and Three Sisters. In 1997, with her stage career taking off, Flockhart traveled to Los Angeles to audition for a new television show. She told People, "I was jet-lagged and tired, so I just went there and thought, well, whatever happens, happens." The show was Ally McBeal, and she was offered the lead role that same afternoon. Creator David E. Kelley explained that they'd seen hundreds of actresses before Flockhart, explaining, "When she walked in on a cold reading, she was just Ally." Flockhart played the title character, a lawyer at a firm with an infamous unisex bathroom.
No, I'm not a big fan of that.
No, I wouldn't. I would be next door, across the street in the Dunkin' Donuts using their bathroom.
The show was controversial, but Flockhart denied that Ally was meant to be a new feminist icon. She told the Baltimore Sun, "She's a character who is just simply that, an individual, independent of any kind of role model." Simply put, the role changed Flockhart's life. During Ally McBeal, tabloids were obsessed about Flockhart's weight. Her slender frame prompted late-night comedians to crack jokes at her expense, and a radio station even said that they planned to send her a truck full of junk food. One day, in 1998, Flockhart was out walking her dog when she came home to find a number of messages asking if she was okay. Apparently, WCBS had reported she checked into a facility for an eating disorder, which she said was simply not true. As she explained to People, I eat normally. I eat whatever I want, whenever I want. I don't have a messed up relationship with food."
And Kara, go get me a lettuce wrap.
But the industry-wide speculation continued. In 1999, The Washington Post reported that Flockhart canceled a series of interviews after Connie Chung pressed her about her weight.
Do you have an eating disorder? What do you think I'm going to say? Yeah, I do.
Her publicist explained simply, "She's tired of doing that." Many years later, Flockhart opened up to the New York Times about the effect of what would today be considered body shaming, sharing, "I was very sleep deprived and I was depressed about it. I had days where I was really hurt and embarrassed and infuriated." Before Ally McBeal, Flockhart had a supporting role in The Birdcage, and just a few years later, in 1999, she appeared in a film adaptation of William Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream, opposite Christian Bale and Michelle Pfeiffer. Flockhart didn't think highly of the play at first. Entertainment Weekly reported that she called it, quote, "an insipid, ridiculous, frivolous comedy." But her theater training was an asset to her performance, and the comedic timing she'd honed on TV didn't hurt either. Director Michael Hoffman praised his star's performance to Entertainment Weekly and predicted big things ahead, saying, "She'll be Audrey Hepburn. She's extraordinary. She certainly has an amazing facility with the language. No one handles the language better than Calista." When Flockhart starred on Ally McBeal, there was talk about what the character meant for modern feminism. Some critics weren't sure what to make of her, and Flockhart wound up on the cover of Time magazine in 1998 under the headline, "Is Feminism Dead?" She later told the New York Times that the conversation about what her character meant to culture was unexpected, sharing, "I was surprised. This is just a character that is invented out of a man's mind to entertain. I don't think I saw it as such a statement." In 2001, Flockhart became an icon of modern womanhood for a different reason. She adopted a baby boy, planning to raise him on her own. She told ABC News, "I have always wanted to adopt a child, and I am overjoyed that I have been blessed with a beautiful and healthy son." She named him Liam, and she made sure to note that the adoption was only possible because of childcare accommodations offered by Fox. She explained, "I feel extremely fortunate and grateful that I work for such a supportive company." While she considered herself a workaholic, Flockhart later told The Telegraph adopting Liam changed all of that. As she put it, "Motherhood changed every fiber of my being, and I think I can honestly say it brought me as close as I've ever come to being really happy." Although Calista Flockhart adopted Liam in 2001 and was prepared to raise him on her own, that's not how things ended up. The following year, she met the love of her life. At that year's Golden Globe ceremony, Flockhart met Indiana Jones star Harrison Ford, and the rest is Hollywood history. Years later, they told the New York Times how that first night went down. Ford was struck by her beauty and asked to be introduced. Flockhart recalled, "Harrison came over to say hi. When he left, I said, 'Ugh, what a lascivious old man. What is he doing?' But soon after, they went out and sparks really began to fly. Both brought their agents to their dinner at the Brentwood Bar and Grill, but the two actors got along great. Ford joked, 'I lured her up to my house and we danced, and then I took her home. Make sure you put that in the story. And we've sort of been together ever since.' By 2003, the romance was public. Flockhart spoke with Hello about the relationship, insisting that their 22-year age gap didn't bother her in the slightest. She gushed, 'I like the way he looks first thing in the morning. It's not handsome, it's more cute. He looks like a little boy.' Ally McBeal went off the air in 2002, and Flockhart disappeared for a while to focus on her relationship with Ford and raising Liam.
I did make a choice to walk away, and I don't regret it at all. I was 99% a stay-at-home mom.
In 2006, Flockhart returned to television in ABC's Brothers and Sisters. She played Kitty Walker, a woman who finds herself embroiled in her family's drama.
I am not a I am not aggressively plotting to make our mother feel bad.
The cast included big names like Sally Field and Matthew Rhys. And just as she had during the height of Ally McBeal, Flockhart once more faced speculation about her personal life. This time, the media focused on her attitude while promoting the show. Bloggers posted stories about Flockhart's demeanor during a press conference before she even made it home from the event. She confided to the Los Angeles Times, "I don't know what people expect. I don't know what people want me to do. For me, I was happy and content to be at the panel. I did my job. I went home and I felt like it was all fine." Flockhart's role on Brothers and Sisters allowed her to focus on what was most important to her at the time, raising her own family. As she told Cinema Blend, "The fact that the show is an ensemble with so many wonderful, amazing actors, I wasn't going to be responsible for carrying the show, and I have a better schedule." Flockhart and Ford finally got engaged in 2009. Ford popped the question over Valentine's Day, and they married the following year in New Mexico. New Mexico Governor Bill Richardson officiated, with an assist from New Mexico Supreme Court Chief Justice Charles Daniels. Their decades-long partnership seems to be going strong. Ford has helped raise Liam, telling the New York Times, "When I met Liam, he was just beginning to walk, and it just didn't matter to me. I had 4 children already, and I can't count that well, so it didn't make that much difference." Flockhart helped out with Ford's other children too, explaining, "I love his kids, my stepkids." In 2023, they attended Liam's college graduation together. And in a 2024 appearance on Live with Kelly and Mark, Flockhart shared her secret as to why their relationship has worked for as long as it has.
"He's afraid of me."
Even as her screen career heated up, Flockhart continued to dip in and out of theater. In 2012, she participated in a series of staged play readings that were later syndicated on the radio. She explained to The Guardian, "It's a fun, low-key way to get into a room with talented actors and directors and have a great time reading a classic, wonderful play." A decade later, in 2022, Flockhart starred in a production of Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf in Los Angeles. This time, she played Martha, the role made famous by Elizabeth Taylor in the film adaptation, a much older character than Flockhart was used to playing. Speaking with the Los Angeles Times, she said, "I was usually the ingenue and one of the youngest people in the cast, and now I'm definitely the oldest person in the cast, and I am not the ingenue." She made it clear that she found that exciting, admitting, "I could never play Martha without all the life experience. So it feels pretty wonderful." Flockhart returned to television in FX and Hulu's 2024 series Feud, Capote vs. the Swans. This time, she took on the role of Lee Rodswell, the infamous socialite sister of Jackie Kennedy. The series follows famed writer Truman Capote as he befriends and then turns on a group of New York high society ladies, whom he termed the Swans. Flockhart signed on because she was a fan of many of the people involved, including creator Ryan Murphy and writer John Robin Bates. Bates co-created Brothers and Sisters, and the two became close when she appeared on the show.
And then all these actresses, it was just kind of dreamy.
In addition to Tom Hollander as Capote, the series stars luminaries like Naomi Watts, Molly Ringwald, Chloe Sevigny, Diane Lane, and Demi Moore. Flockhart told the New York Times that she was able to bond with her castmates and perhaps connect to the source material because they'd all been put through the ringer in the public eye. Flockhart reflected on that time, saying, "I cannot believe that I was scrutinized and pursued like that. It was intense, and it was unfair." Nowadays, Flockhart isn't interested in the glitz and glamour that the show portrays, admitting, "I felt very sorry for them. Underneath all that, they were very sad, very lonely, and really unhappy women.